today we have on Kathryn Dickinson, who is the owner of Aillea Clean Beauty Boutiques, which are curators of only clean beauty products. We're going to get into how you are actually categorized as a clean beauty product. And you have stores in Denver, Atlanta, Raleigh, Charlotte, and Charleston. And as Bridget and I mentioned, we're hoping Nashville soon. You're just to throw it out in the universe.
Yes.
You're also a longtime beauty executive. So welcome, Kathryn. We're excited to talk to you today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you both for having me.
Well, we're excited to talk to you because I think women in midlife really want to use clean products that work, but they don't know where to find them. So the fact that they can go right online to your store or you're working with us now on our brand store as well, which will take you right through Aillea. We're excited to talk about it. So what led you to open up these boutiques?
So I started Aillea. It was part of my own personal health journey. Back 13 years ago, I was getting very sick, and I had developed severe late-in-life food allergies, and I had to read every label because back then there was no front of box labeling. Nobody knew what was gluten-free 13 years ago. I mean, this is pre-Facebook, pre-Goop, pre-Well and Good, bloggers and the resources that we all have now to help us self-navigate our health. And when I cleaned up my diet in 2 weeks, I was a different human being. And that was my big aha moment of like, what we put on our body really matters. And one day, because I was such an avid label reader, I was in my shower and I flipped over my shampoo and I said, "What's in this?" And I was floored. It was a very high-end salon brand. And I was like, this is toxic sludge. And I remember coming out of the shower, I'm like, I'm going to do in my bathroom what I did in my kitchen. And I'm going to replace everything with something that works as well or better, but has nothing bad for me in it. And people, I am never of the belief, like you use a lipstick once and you're suddenly going to have a cancer, but it's, I feel like it's like that little drip effect of, something that's in our water, plus what's in our air, plus what's, in our food, plus what's in our makeup is having an impact on our health. And, we'll get into this a little bit later, but especially for women on our endocrine system, which is so sensitive. But if you think about how like a hormone patch or a nicotine patch works, you put it on your arm, it goes directly into your bloodstream. So lo and behold, I set out on this journey to get all clean products, and 3 months and $150 later, and I had a shampoo. And I said, no human has the time or money I am putting into this. And so little by little over the years, I was just chipping away and finding products here and there that I really liked. And the whole time I kept getting mad. I was like, why isn't there a store where I can just go and shop and know everything's clean? And there's been no greenwashing, and not to, I think sometimes bigger brands want to get in on the clean movement. So if you go to one of the bigger big box retailers and ask for something clean, they say, this is a clean thing. And so that is, it's hard. They're not trying to give misinformation, but they are just telling what they've been told. And it's not always clean, or at least clean to my standards. I kept just thinking about the store in the back of my head. And about 7 years ago, the universe put a very strong hand at my back and said, you're going to go do this. So I launched online in December of 2014. And then I opened my first store in May of 2015 and just kind of kept rolling after that.
So I know you mentioned greenwashing. Can you explain what greenwashing is?
Absolutely. So greenwashing is using words, fonts, symbols, to say things like natural, and then, have flowers all over the label. And people think it's a clean product. When you turn it over, it still has parabens or sulfates or, phenoxyethanol or PEGs or petrochemicals. There's a whole host of ingredients that are kind of out there, or synthetic fragrance is another one that's a big red flag, because a lot of people don't know fragrance is considered a trade secret. So they never have to disclose what is in that ingredient. When it says fragrance, they never have to disclose what's in it because it's considered trade secret, much the way like the Coca-Cola recipe is or whatever. So there could be hundreds of chemicals hiding in that one term.
Wow. I mean, I didn't realize that about the fragrance, that it was a trade secret. Oh, that's really something. With the greenwashing, so is there something that is out there that helps regulate this? Like, I know that when we get something that's organic, they say to be careful, that you can say it's organic if it meets certain criteria, but not everything is purely clean when it meets that criteria. Is there any criteria that something has to meet?
That's the hard part about this industry, is it's very unregulated. You know, they talk about how Europe has over 1,300 banned ingredients and we have, 12 here in the US. But there is kind of no regulation. There are a lot of kind of labels and that you can not buy into, but test into or buy into. So Cosmos and EcoCert are the equivalent of a organic, and that's kind of the gold standard, because that is looking at the quality of the soil that the ingredients were grown in, and then it also looks at what chemicals do they use to clean the drums that they make the product in. So if they're using something horrible and toxic to clean in between batches, there's contamination there. So there are different certifications that people can get. USDA does exist in the skincare realm. Cosmos, they're all very expensive, and it's very hard for smaller companies to afford that. I think sometimes also people confuse vegan with healthy. Vegan just means no animal byproducts, which is also great, and we have many products that are, but vegan does not necessarily mean clean. Same thing with Leaping Bunny certified, which guarantees that no animal testing's been done, but it does not necessarily mean there's no bad ingredients there for you.
Yeah, that's really important, just to get those things clear, because I know, when you're shopping in a store, it's quick and you're like, oh, okay, this says this, but it's really great that you're bringing that to the forefront.
So for Aillea, what are your vetting standards? How do you vet a product to consider it clean for your company?
So I have a list of ingredients that are absolute, showstoppers, like absolutely not is that coming across the threshold of our store. And Aillea probably does have some of the strictest standards in the country of any clean retailer. So the ingredient list, and on the bottom of our webpage, there's a link which tells you all of the ingredients that we do not allow in the store. So that's my first vetting process. Second is performance. It's wonderful if, it works, but it was wonderful as good ingredients, but if it doesn't work, if it's a mascara that runs all over your face, that doesn't work well either. Like, I want performance. Third is packaging. More and more, we are looking to make sure that the packaging is recyclable, in some way, environmentally friendly, because the beauty industry is a big part of the plastics problem in our oceans, and we want to make every effort. The good thing is the brands that we carry in our store all have the same kind of passion and commitment towards clean. And so, you don't even have to put demands on them usually for that. They've already taken those steps or are trying to take those steps to become more environmentally friendly. And then the last thing I always look for is a great founder story or a great ingredient story, something new and different and in an exciting way.
So how many products does Aillea have in their stores or online? And that's a tough question. You could do a ballpark.
A while ago, I think 1,400 products. We have about 50 brands that we carry, and more launching. It's always when you're running retail, you're always launching newness and exiting slow moving brands. So, but it's a growing field, which is so exciting. And there's becoming so much more options to choose from, and really high quality, amazing options, which is exciting.
So it's a boutique.
Mm-hmm.
What type of categories? Is it just skincare, just makeup? Do you have hair products? What categories do you have at the store?
Everything. We have makeup, skincare, hair care, nail, fragrance, bath and body. We're about to relaunch candles. So we're doing some coconut wax candles that have clean wicks and essential oils, and oral care, toothpastes, deodorants, everything.
Wow, that is really great. Yeah, because just, I didn't even realize with toothpaste, when you mentioned toothpaste, the chemicals that are in the toothpaste that you're using, and then it's going into your body, and what it can just, especially for midlife women, it can really wreak havoc with hormones and everything. And I didn't realize that.
Absolutely.
So that's where I was kind of leading is that midlife women are looking for clean products because we know that we don't need to do anything that's going to make our skin look any worse, or we have a new sensitivity. I mean, a lot of us are getting sensitive because of the hormonal changes and just the aging process. So midlife women are looking for products that, number one, work, but also are clean and sensitive on the skin. Can
Yeah.
you can you recommend, let's start with skincare. Now I'm going to say Care Beauty because Bridget and I are huge lovers of Care Beauty and they know that.
Big fan of theirs. Yeah.
And I know you carry them.
Yeah.
What are some other lines of skincare that you would recommend for midlife women?
Gosh, we have so many that are great. I think Indie Lee has a great, I don't, you don't want to use the word anti-aging line because she very much embodies aging, but she has a whole line kind of targeted for that. I think Tata is fabulous. Vintner's Daughter, Alpen is fabulous. And Josh, I've been loving. Josh has a retinol that I've just started using recently that I love.
And what about hair care for women in midlife? Do you have a couple brands you would recommend for that as well?
Yeah, we have two brands that we carry right now that I've really fallen in love with. It's Rawa, and they're really special, doing a lot of environmental work, saving the Amazon and the indigenous tribes there. And then Inner Sense is wildly popular at the store. I use a mix and match of both, kind of like my makeup bag. There's not just one brand in there for anything. It's, a mix and match, but I love, and I've really, because this summer, all of a sudden out of nowhere, all the moisture kind of just left my hair and my body. But it was, I am of the age that it's, I'm in perimenopause and it's, I'm 49, almost 50. And all of a sudden out of nowhere, my hair started, breaking off in like 6-inch pieces. And I was like, what is going on? So I chopped it all off and I'm like, I'm going to chop it off and start again. And, started taking collagen supplements and protein supplements and multivitamins. And then, I love the Rawa Moisture shampoo is amazing. And then sometimes I layer in, Inner Sense has an amazing hydration mask that once or twice a week I will use as a deep conditioner in the shower. And it's really started to bring the kind of shine and vibrance back to my hair, which I loved. I was not going to go down fighting without.
With makeup, are there anything that I know I have so much trouble as I age with makeup, things that just don't stay on my skin well, even if I use a primer, they just, what they used to do, they don't do anymore. And then I notice they just settle in to those little lines or anything. I'm like, why are you settling there? But is there any that you recommend for that for the middle-aged woman?
Yeah, I mean, makeup, when I first started, I will say, I always from day one thought clean skincare worked better than conventional skincare. Period, end of sentence. It's always worked better for my skin. Makeup, I will admit, when I started 7 years ago, it wasn't as robust as it is now, but the advances that are being made with natural ingredients now are spectacular. So we have brands like Aillea and Kosas and Vapor, RMS that are just doing wonders. I think finding a great formula is important that doesn't move around. I love the Aillea and the Vapor foundations. They're spectacular. And if you have exceptionally dry skin, I'm not quite there yet but if like your skin is super, super dry, I think the Vapor one has so many healthy oils in it too. So that's the fun thing, is clean makeup is also doubles sometimes as extra skincare on top. So it's just finding the right formula for you. I think SPF is wildly important. The new Aillea has new skin tints with SPF 40 in them that are great for, daytime, and you can layer it for night, but I prefer the foundations at nighttime. And then I also say this, less is more. I think I've realized the less makeup I wear, the younger I look and the younger my skin looks. I think that's always kind of been my motto. I just want more of me to show through than necessarily look like a major makeover has been done.
Yes. Yeah. And you mentioned sunscreen. So do you carry sunscreens as well?
We sure do.
Oh, that's so important because well, there was a scare last year with some sunscreens or this fall.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
they a lot have been pulled because of their link to skin cancer, and also they're damaging the reefs. They're not ocean safe. So all of our sunscreens are ocean safe and great. And I think, again, another place where they've been making great progress in terms of non-whitening, because it is hard with a physical. There's two types of sunscreen, the chemical and the physical. And the chemical ones are the ones that, surprise, keep bumping into, recall issues and links to, health problems, versus the physical sunscreen. But people, I think, are wary of physical sunscreens because of the way back when, the big, thick, pasty white on your face, and incorporating it into the makeup has been a great way that Aillea has done it. Josh Rosebrook has a great, and Kypris, both have great sunscreens that don't have a white cast to it. And then you've also got great tinted options like Suntegrity, where, it's not meant to be full on makeup. I've convinced my husband to put it on once or twice too. I'm like, it's not makeup, I promise. It's more, it just cuts the white. Yeah, I would never go back to using the physical.
I know that we were vacationing in the past few places we vacationed. They want you, we did like a boat tour, we did some snorkeling, and your sunscreen, you had to show it to them to show that it was environmentally friendly, that it wasn't going to damage the reefs. And I guess that was in about the past 3 years that's happened. So it really is
Hawaii
great.
has that too.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii might have some regulations around sunscreens as well.
Yeah, and that's so important. You could find it there at your store. Yes.
When you're talking about chemicals, that leads me to think about hair color. Do you carry any hair colors there?
That we do not. I go to a salon for that, and here in Denver, there's one called the Organic Salon Denver, but I think it's called Organic Color Systems. They're out of the UK, and on their site, you can email them and find people in your area that use that.
That's great to know, because a lot of women are concerned. Well, a lot of women are going gray, which is great, but those that are coloring are concerned with the chemicals that are still going into our hair. And then you had mentioned before about supplements. Do you carry supplements at the store?
We do not. It's more, I would in a heartbeat. It's a little more of a credit card processing issue that some, that they consider it high risk, like cigarettes and tobacco. And so it creates all sorts of problems on that side to have supplements for us. Same thing with CBD, which I fully support and I think has a lot of health benefits in the, skin creams and everything. But because of credit card processing, we cannot carry that.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we always learn so much.
We always learn. Yeah.
If someone goes online to Aillea, and we should have said this in the beginning, it's Aillea, because it's not the Ilia, it's Aillea. No. And they go on there and you say, oh, well, we have 1,200 different products. Where do they start? How do they know what's going to work for them?
One of the first things you can do is on the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a little chat icon. Click on that, and that actually takes you to either Haley in our Charleston store or Becca in our Atlanta store, the store manager. So you are talking to real team members in the store. And that can also convert to video chat. So you can, if you're not getting an answer right away, they can over the screen help you shade match a foundation, or, help you navigate that, or pull up something and put swatches on their arm and show it to you. So it's really a great tool to use. And we are in the middle of updating our site a little bit, or like our search functions and our navigation, to help you through things like, brightening, if you want something that brightens, if you want something that's for fine lines and wrinkles, and really kind of help you target specific concerns.
Now, if somebody, I know that right now you have about 5 stores. If somebody was going to come into one of the stores, what could they expect to see, the layout? What could they expect to find?
Oh, it's very white, and usually very white and bright. Looks like a mixture between my kitchen and my bathroom. Usually, I think I literally, in most of the stores, we have the same countertops that I have in my kitchen and bathroom in the stores. But I just wanted it to feel comfortable and approachable. So it is much more of a, looking like the shelf in your bathroom type experience. And just a lot of bright white and a lot of fun brands and pops of color, and a great customer experience. I will say the team that we have in place in all of our stores are really, really knowledgeable, really friendly, and super excited to help people get into clean beauty.
And can customers try on things or try out things in the store? Okay, great.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a big part. I mean, that's one of the whole reason I have physical stores is I realized very early on, people, especially 7 years ago, still thought clean beauty didn't really work. And then when they could try it and see it and touch it and feel it, they were blown away. And so I was like, I need a store because women still really want to sample products, and you can come into the stores, and we actually have this as a feature online. If you scroll down on our homepage where we'll send you samples too. So, you can just pay for shipping, but we'll send you samples if you're trying to decide between 2 face serums, or, it's a big investment to buy a vintner's daughter serum that's $185. And I don't want anyone to take that lightly or anyone to regret a purchase. So I would rather people come in and, go home with 2 or 3 serums to try and figure out which one works best for them. So I think it really helps people get to the right formula for themselves.
Are you finding that more middle-aged women are coming into the store looking for clean beauty?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, our age is the average age of is 25 to 45, but that 35 to 45 age is our biggest segment. And then women are starting to realize it. Sadly, with the prevalence of breast cancer going up for women, a lot of times people start to seek out clean beauty either during pregnancy or illness. It's whether they've had cancer or somebody that they know had cancer and suddenly their eyes have been open to it. It's women are becoming more and more empowered with their own health and their own wellness in every sense of their life, in their food, in their fridge, in the fridge, in the working out. And, part of that is in clean beauty as well.
With the chemicals that you consider off limits, like no-goes, what have you found in the research to be the most damaging results of those chemicals on either your skin or seeping into your skin, into your organs?
There have been links, and it's hard because these are chemicals, but there are also some, water is a chemical. So it's not just chemicals are bad and clean and
right.
Good. It's what has been proven or has high suspicion or links to things like cancer and endocrine disruptors are the biggest ones because they are now being linked to infertility, miscarriages, just all sorts of other issues. And, as someone who tried very hard and was never successful having a baby, that was something that very much resonated with me, that, for my whole life, I was a product junkie. And, did that cause, all of my fertility issues? And doctors just called it unexplainable, and, infertility. There was no good reason. So, I think that's one of the biggest one. It's been linked to, they've been linked to weight gain. I think, as we've seen through this whole pandemic, one of the biggest issues that makes it so deadly is the links to both autoimmune issues and things like diabetes. So I feel like any places that we can start to chip away and kind of reclaim our health, it matters.
Well, we're excited to be working with Aillea because I think your demographic needs to go from 25 to 45 to 25 to 70, because it is never too late to start a clean beauty. Some women think I've been wearing this for years, but you can still make changes in your skincare.
I just helped a couple of weeks ago a woman who's, I think, in her 80s do a full change of everything, so I absolutely, when I say that that's our demographic, our customer base is,
I know, but I'm
every girl. Like, I want the most important one I want to grab is I want to get the 13-year-olds that are just starting before, get them before start putting all these things on their body at such a critical time too, when they're going through menstruation. I mean, if you see the studies of girls starting to get breasts earlier and their periods earlier, and all of that is all connected to everything. And also I would love to see more men in the store. They think it doesn't apply to them, but the soaps that they use and the lotions that they use and the aftershave and deodorants that they use are also impacting them. So But I want every person to be our demographic. I just meant that's where the bulk of our customers right now, if you look at data,
Right.
People who have purchased, that's where the bulk of our customer base is. But by no means am I saying I'm just targeting 25 to 45-year-olds. I want everybody. And like I said, most importantly, I want the young girls before they get into the bad.
Right. Before these things get in their body already. And I think it's really amazing. I mean, things are starting to come out about how dangerous the different things that are out in the environment that are typically in the products that we have used since we were children. And it's starting to come to the forefront more. But there is so much that I still don't know about it that I've just learned since we've started this podcast, or maybe even the past year. And I had no idea how dangerous they are and what they did and what they stuck to in your body, or it's amazing. So it is, you're one of the first places I've heard of that is exclusive to this clean beauty product, and your vetting process is really important. It sounds really rigorous, and I feel like I would really trust the products in your store.
Oh, good. Well, and like I said, and they work well. Like when I did this, I've been in beauty you mentioned, I've been in beauty my whole career. I was the VP of marketing and sales for a cosmetics company in New York City for many years, not on the clean side before I personally discovered clean beauty. But when I switched to clean, I did not want to rub patchouli oil on and call it a day. Like, I want tried and true products, and I want a great mascara and a red lipstick. And I think I've found the best of the best in the industry, which is amazing.
Well, it always seems that companies and products start when we have a personal need for them. And we love talking to women in midlife who, if you can't find it, I'll make it.
Yeah.
And also, we don't want to have to do the homework anymore. So if you're already doing that for us and it works, that's a win-win. And you're saying for your husbands or your spouse or your brothers or your dad or whatever, there are products there as well. So we are excited to showcase this episode, because I think the women that listen to us are really going to enjoy it. And check out Aillea online. Also, you can go to the stores if you happen to be in Denver, Atlanta, Raleigh, Charlotte, or Charleston. Make sure to stop by and say hello to them. And you can also check it out on our website. So thank you so much, Kathryn, for coming on today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.